Ja, ich bin's wieder, Kizuna Haran, wie mit meinem Let's Play von Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. Und es wird Zeit, die finale Schlacht zu absolvieren. Im Fight. Darum, Athena frei zu bekommen von jeglicher Schuld, die jetzt auf ihr gelastet wurde. Sei jetzt nun der Mord an Clay und jetzt auch noch der Mord an ihrer eigenen Mutter, der vor 7 Jahren stattgefunden hat. Das waren doch 7 Jahre, oder? Ich meine, ja. Da sieht man, was für ein schwaches Gedächtnis ich habe. Das ist nämlich die erste Aufnahme nach meiner Rückkehr vom Urlaub. Und enough said. 20. Dezember, 3:11 Uhr, District Court, Defendant Lumby Number 5.
I did a little research. I looked into those special psyclocks you mentioned, Mr. Nick.
Also die schwarzen psychischen Blockaden, falls sich noch jemand erinnert. Natürlich erinnert ihr euch. Der Part war gestern. You did? That's great. I really appreciate it.
A red psyclock protects a secret the person is consciously trying to hide. If the person falls under questioning, the lock breaks and the truths come out.
Yep, that's exactly how I got the truth out of Detective Fulbright and Director Cosmos.
But a black psyclock protects a secret from the deepest place in a person's heart. A secret that the person isn't even consciously aware of.
So even they don't know it's there.
Athena isn't trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself.
Sowas nennt man Schutzmechanismus, genau. Ein Schutzmechanismus ihres eigenen Körpers. Das hatte ich schon mal irgendwo gesehen. Host Phantom Pain. Okay, so all I have to do is break the psyclocks.
According to my research, a black psyclock is like a heavy chain wrapped directly around one's heart. If they are ripped off by force, it could cause permanent damage to a person's soul.
Yeah! Phantom Pain-like! In other words, if I'm not careful, I could traumatize Athena for good. Ugh. Pearls, could you stay by Athena's side? She must be suffering under the weight of such a heavy burden.
Alright. But will you be alright by yourself, Mr. Nick?
I'm up against Edgeworth. I have to be able to give this trial all of my focus and strength.
You can't do that if I'm there. I'll just hold you back.
No, that's not it. I just meant I can relax and concentrate if I knew you were with Athena. You're the only one who can do it, Pearls.
Alright. I'll do it then. Good luck, Mr. Nick.
Yo, good luck, Pearly. Good. Now that my mind is at ease, I'd better get ready. I'll just tidy up the evidence and take out what I don't need. It's time to end this nightmare that started 7 years ago. Ach ja, darf ich by the way noch darauf hinweisen, dass es auch darum geht, Simon zu retten, weil er dann am nächsten Tag hingerichtet werden sollte? Ja. 20. Dezember, District Court Courtroom Number 4. Let's go! Defense, prosecution, and judge. There are even people in the gallery. The roof has been completely blown off and the walls have collapsed. But today, this ruin is my battleground. Court! Oh, some fist my theater office! No insertion for the trial of Athena Sykes! Not a facsimile, old man. This is a proper official trial. Take this more seriously or you'll start hearing the bones of the hostage snap. Ow! Jetzt mal nicht so aggro. Please try not to upset Miss Blackquill. I'm begging you. Court is now in session for the very serious and very proper trial of Athena Sykes. This is no trial. It's nothing more than a ridiculous farce. What did you say? Edgeworth! Did you not hear what I just said to His Honor? However, this ridiculous farce has a very important meaning for our legal system. Recall the case of the UR1 incident, in which a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. That case ushered in the odious dark age of the law. I see what you're after. If we can find the real truth behind that case today. Precisely. The darkness will be dispelled and glory shall be restored to the court system. Prosecutor Edgeworth! You sound as if you know something of this truth! I do indeed. A new suspect has emerged in the UR1 case. For 7 years, Simon Blackquill has refused to speak in order to cover for someone else. Brace yourself, Phoenix! Here it comes! I'm sorry, Wright, but the situation is what it is, and I must do what I must. The prosecution moves to indict Athena Sykes on the count of murder in the first degree.
Regardless the circumstance, I intend to question the defendant with all I have. For that is a part of my creed.
Then you better bring it.
If the two of you are ready. Court is now in session for the trial of Athena Sykes.
Your Honor, the defense was born ready.
The prosecution is also ready.
Geilste Cutscene! Weil wirklich, gibt es irgendjemand, der diese Cutscene nicht kennt? Ich habe das schon in etlichen Countdowns gesehen. Zwar englischsprachig, but still! This immense tension between us. It's like we're picking up right where we left off. It's my duty to clear Prosecutor Blackquill of false accusations and end this insanity. But I have no intention of losing Miss Sykes either. She's a very promising young lawyer. I know without a doubt that Athena's innocent. But I don't think Prosecutor Blackquill did it either. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackquill. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what the person is. To put it simply, a spy. It's a spy! The true culprit is a spy. It's going to be hard to convince anyone of that when I barely believe it myself. But I don't have a choice if I want to save Athena and Blackquill and expose the spy. Now then, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth! No need for the Chief Prosecutor bit, Your Honor. I'm here as a simple prosecutor. Very well, your opening statement please, Prosecutor Edgeworth! Although I've been known of late to give an impressive opening statement myself! In all the trials I have ever seen, only the prosecution gives an opening statement. Oh, of course, you're right, I was just joking! Just having a little fun! Ja, böser Simon. Sieh mal dazu geschlagen. So he wasn't doing them just out of fear. Interesting. Let's start with a brief overview of the UR1 incident. The incident occurred at the Cosmos Space Center 7 years ago, on October 17th. The victim, psychologist Meta Sykes, was killed in a robotics lab on the 4th floor. Athena's mother, Simon Blackquill, a young prosecutor at the time, was found guilty of the crime. There were two deciding factors that led to his guilty verdict. 1. Blackquill was the only person in the corridor to the lab at the time of the murder. And 2. This photo, which captured the moment of the crime. Very incriminating evidence indeed! It would appear that the only conclusion is that Prosecutor Blackquill did indeed! Are you kidding me? I'm not accepting any conclusion of the kind. This opening statement is over. Now, hurry up and call the witness. Excuse me, Miss Blackquill, but we must follow proper procedures for these things, you know? Or perhaps we should heed her wishes, Your Honor. She is the trial's sponsor, after all. Besides, the courtroom is chilly and sitting for too long can't be good for our back. Oh, you're very kind to show such concern of the welfare of the elderly! As skilled as ever at playing the court puppeteer, I see. Edgeworth, typisch Arschkriecher. The prosecution calls its first witness. A witness who decided to bring forth new testimony after 7 long years. New testimony? And just who is this witness anyway? Meh? Bobby Fulbright's the name, and just as we trust! Ernsthaft? What are you doing here? I'm just here to speak for the hostage taker, Miss Aura Blackquill. She says she's too busy, what with confining and treating the hostages at all. That doesn't seem to stop her from constantly chiming in through Clunko. I'm nothing more than an observer in this. Do your best. I'm watching you. Believing her brother innocent, Miss Blackquill has been conducting her own investigation. And though her current actions are hardly lawful, I think we can at least hear her theory. I have here Miss Blackwell's notes on the investigation she conducted. And I'll be giving testimony based on these notes. Here I go. Okay. Naja, ich hätte das zwar gern von ihr selber gehört, aber... Simon isn't the murderer. He was trying to cover for someone. Someone else was at the scene at the time they say Simon committed the murder. I mean, if he really was out to steal that moon rock, then why the rolling case? Because he was using it to hide someone inside, that's why. And the only person small enough to fit inside that case was Athena Sykes. And that's Miss Blackwell's theory. It totally goes in the face of the official ruling. Huh. About the case she mentioned, there were other rolling cases like that one in the lab. But they're not for traveling. They're apparently for moving parts and equipment. I vaguely remember seeing 3 cases, all different sizes. At the last trial, they thought that Prosecutor Blackquill used the case to steal the rock. And they had a perfectly good reason to think that too. You see, there's a security camera in the corridor that leads to the robotics lab. And that camera captured footage of Blackquill leaving the scene with the case. I can see why that footage helped to bring his trial to a quick end. It's very convincing, that's for sure. Okay, then thank you. Woo! Sorry. That case, by the way, was later discovered outside of the Space Center grounds. Speaking of after the incident, where was the defendant Athena Sykes found? She was found on the 5th floor of the Space Center in the Sykes family residence. Prosecutor Blackquill most likely brought her there after the incident. In addition, it's unknown where Miss Sykes was at the estimated time of death. Miss Sykes was too confused by the shock of her mother's death to give proper testimony. And there was no witness or evidence to tell us where she might have been. So what you're saying is Miss Sykes didn't have an alibi? That is what the evidence is saying, yes. I understand the reasoning behind the theory, but I'm far from convinced. The victim is the accused mother. Are you actually claiming an 11-year-old girl? Of course, the girl had a very strong motive. Dr. Sykes was a psychologist who wrote many papers about speech and emotions. You're aware of Athena Sykes' special ability, aren't you, Your Honor? Are you referring to that therapy thing? Yes, she's doing it quite a few times in court. The ability to read emotions from speech and the subject of her mother's research. Well, as long as it benefits society, I don't see any particular problems researching it. I don't like where this is heading. Not one bit. Dr. Sykes was intent on her research. She forced her daughter to undergo experiments. Prosecutor Edgeworth! Are you seriously suggesting? I've done my best to delegate, but even you can't deny it to be true, Mr. Wright. No longer able to withstand the anguish of the experiments, Miss Sykes felt her only choice was to kill her own mother. Ah! Ouch. Order! Order in the court! What a tragic story! I hardly want to believe in myself! But we must proceed! Mr. Wright, if you could! Detective Fulbright, please refer to the outs! Na dann. Ja. Sad but true, es ist ein tatsächlich mögliches Motiv. Wenn wir aber beide retten wollen, dann müssen wir etwas finden, um das zu widerlegen. Kreuzverhör oder Blackwill's Theory. Dann wollen wir mal. Zuerst müssen wir mal etwas finden. Nämlich, hier. Einmal Angriff. Bombenangriff. But that's nothing more than conjecture, and that's hardly the only possibility. In that case, what do you think Prosecutor Blackquill had in that case? I think it was the Moonrock. There were 3 cases at the scene, but Prosecutor Blackquill used the largest one. The Moonrock was egg-shaped and only about 8 inches in diameter. It wouldn't have made any sense to use the largest case there just to move that rock. Be that as it may, it doesn't prove Miss Sykes was inside. Then let me ask you this. Can you come up with a better theory of what was in the case? Well, Mr. Wright, can you? Yikes! Give a guy some time to think. Let's see. Should I try to bluff my way through what could have been in that case? Wir sind die Meister des Bluffens, also ja. I know exactly what Prosecutor Blackquill carried from the scene. I just have to find something else that was missing, right? No sweat! Oh, I'm very interested in hearing your theory. If it's true, that is. This is a crime scene photo taken after Prosecutor Blackquill left, correct? All we have to do is compare this with this photo of Prosecutor Blackquill to see what's missing. If he took something with him, then it should be in one of these photos. Lady Luck, don't fail me now. Alright then, Mr. Wright, let us hear your theory. What did Prosecutor Blackquill take from the scene of the murder? Tja, ja, Dings. Wenn wir das... Ist auf jeden Fall gut, von wegen das mal zu vergleichen mit diesem winzigen kleinen Follow. Also es gibt tatsächlich etwas. Jopp. Jopp, jopp, jopp. Dann wollen wir mal, falls ihr es nicht gesehen habt, es ist dieser Roboterarm. Please notice that there is a robot part on top of the card in this photo. However, in this photo taken after the crime, the robot part is gone. In other words, this part is something that was taken from the scene of the crime. You do appear to be right. I don't see it in the second picture. But it's just a piece of junk. How important could it be? Is it really just an insignificant robot part? Speaking of which, what are you looking at? I'm gonna start charging for each glance per eyeball. Stingy, stingy. What happened to the age of free previews? Ahem, Your Honor, about this robot part. Doesn't it look like it could be an arm from that robot there? Well, now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it? But the case is still too big to be practical for just a moonrock and a robot arm. But was it really just the one arm that was in there? If it wasn't Athena in the case, then maybe... I believe there was another robot at the scene that looks just like the one here. Your Honor, if this the defense assertion that it was this other robot that was in the case. What? Interessante Theorie, einfach mal einen Roboter zu transportieren. We can't be certain that a part belonged to a robot. Yet it looks like the arm of one of before us, but it could be something else entirely. Besides, it's wrapped entirely in bandaging, making it difficult to verify what it is.
Objection!
I know for a fact that it is a robot arm. I can't even tell which robot it belongs to, just by looking at it. With this information, we can investigate whether it was there at the time or not. But Mr. Wright, I thought you were more of the technologically illiterate type. When did you become such an expert? I feel somehow abandoned. Not to worry, Your Honor. I still know next to nothing about machines. But I know this piece of evidence proves which robot the arm belonged to. Und das wäre... Moment, wenn ich das jetzt noch finde. Hier. Tada! Ponko hat so einen Arm. The robot in this picture is named Ponko. But take a look at Ponko's arm. It was Miss Sykes who bandaged it up that like. She must have thought that machine heal in the same way that people do. What an adorable naive mistake. It reminds me of my own grandchild. The robot arm at the crime scene had the same bandaging wrapped around it. In other words, this robot arm could belong to none other than Punko. Order in the court! Order, I say! Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you have to say to this? I concede that the robot is about the same size as a child, but it cannot grab its knees and curl itself up into a ball. Even if it was the largest of the cases, the robot couldn't have possibly fitted there. The case thus comes to up my moment. The case thus comes up to about mid-thief of Prosecutor Blackquill. I see your point. The robot is much taller than that. They've got me there. So then, did Prosecutor Blackquill make Punko fit into the case by... naja, dismantling her. Einfach mal schön auseinanderschrauben. Ah, richtig brutal. Of course, Punko would fit. All Prosecutor Blackquill had to do was dismantle her. Once taken apart, the robot could have easily fit inside that rolling case. It appears to be a robot assembly device.
Disassemble anything in a flash. Push the dismantle button. That sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick?
It sounds rather violent, but Mr. Wright does have a point there. Expect that there was a body on the table where robots are dismantled and assembled. There would have been no room to take the robot apart. But what if it wasn't done on the table? What if the katana was used instead? You mean the sword? Yes, Your Honor. Miss Blackquill, I'd like your opinion as a woman of science. Isn't it true that the katana could have been used to take the robot apart? I suppose so. Their joints aren't made of a very tough material. A blade could slice through them. Thank you for your expert opinion, Miss Blackquill. Thanks to you, we know that the existence of the severed arm in this photo proves that Punko was taken apart. In addition, since the rest of Punko was not found at the scene, we can conclude that the true meaning of this photo is very different from the original interpretation. You can't mean! That's exactly what I mean. This photo does not capture the moment of the murder. It is instead a picture of the moment after the robot was sliced apart. The blood you see where the arm was cut off was transferred there by the bloody katana. Most likely, the rest of Punko is scattered around Prosecutor Blackwell's feet. Not hearing this. Therefore, what was transported inside that case was not the defendant, but a robot. Miss Sykes never was at the scene at the time of the murder. Ah! My head! My head! My body! Where am I? Ah! Da habe ich sie erwischt. Order! Order in the court! It's true that Punko was found in pieces after the murder. And I'll admit I repaid her myself afterwards. Okay, gut, danke! Aber... yes, I'm finally making some progress. Hopefully I've gotten at least one step closer. Aber es wäre nicht das ganze Spiel, wenn es nicht auch einen kleinen Makel geben würde. Einen Haken hat die Sache dann doch. Und diesen werden wir dann beim nächsten Mal sehen. Egal ob positiv oder negativ, Bewertung immer gern gesehen. Das war's von meiner Seite. Und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder. See you guys.